Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon, delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss about how retail stores, restaurants, and bars in Texas can now sell Dusties. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Darren McRoy and Demetrius Kane. Remember when you said I could professionally get this done? That's why I screwed it up. She's a professional here. She'll know how to fucking read. Apparently not.
Kathy. Is that what it was?
Yeah, she was imitating Kathy with her.
That was my Kathy Cool impression.
Yeah, so that's nice. So, in your defense, you had plenty of curveballs thrown at you there. I missed Texas, and I've got the names or from our previous shows are in there. So Royce, Kathy, and Katie Joy. So yeah. It is what it is. We're just going to get through this. We'll get through it together is how we're
As long as people are still listening right now, they haven't clicked off, we're fucking good.
We're good.
They're just going to listen anyways.
Yeah. They'll listen no matter what we're saying, apparently. So, yeah. We'll be talking about Texas and now the fact they're getting in the Dusty game, which I think is pretty cool. Maybe a sign of things to come. So, obviously, Kentucky's been big into that for a while. You've got other places, D.C., but now Texas, which is not always necessarily friendly to alcohol laws. I mean, they still got you can't buy on Sunday, and distilleries can only sell 2 bottles or something to their customers. All kinds of weird, crazy laws. This one actually sounds like a very good one. We'll talk about what that means and what it could mean for other people besides those who live in Texas. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Darren said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Darren?
So, I don't know if it's a term that everyone uses or if it's just a Zoomer thing, so I'm going to explain it. So hot takes are like when you say something that just meaning to piss somebody off, basically. Like you have an opinion, you're like, oh, I'm going to say this, and the only reason is for people to argue with you online. So I would like to hear
I've got a hot take, and it's like something that is going to be not something that everyone else would agree with, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I want to hear your whiskey hot takes.
Ooh.
There's always a lot because it's easy to set people off and it's fun, and it is fun to be mansplained sometimes. So you throw things out there. One of my all-time favorites is anytime, and I used to do this when MGP would come out with something about one of their products, like Remus or whatever, Rossville Union rye. I would in the comments I would be like, "This looks pretty cool. I wonder who they're sourcing it from." People would explain to you who MGP is, how they provide products for other people, and all this shit. So they would get all this stuff, and it's just like it's kind of funny letting them just punch themselves out over something that you're intentionally putting out there because it's fuckery. So yeah, that'd be a hot take from me. Yeah, Demetrius, do you ever do anything like that? It seems like you're probably too busy.
He's got a hot take.
Okay.
No, I don't comment on anything online.
Okay.
I just let people go.
You don't have
My
anything
favorite-
that is a hot take. Anything that would maybe make people angry.
Well,
Because trust me, I know you do.
Yeah, of course.
I don't make people angry, but I avoid saying them or doing anything with them. I just say them under my breath and move on. But recently, my favorite hot take that I had somebody throw out there online made me laugh pretty good was when somebody said that they're a bourbon guy, not a whiskey guy.
Yo,
This made me laugh, chuckle, and I want to have a shirt now for it.
yes.
I'm a bourbon guy, not a whiskey guy.
That was to one of our posts, and yeah, the guy. It was about your product too, by the way. Yeah, so now I know why you would see that. So yeah, that guy is a crack up because he is just he wants to play like he's cool and how smart he is, and in reality, everything that he said out there, and that whole thread made him look like a bigger idiot. This is amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, it was impressive.
It was.
I don't have skills like that to look that stupid.
Yeah, he had to work at it. So yeah, that was a good one for sure.
I've got a hot take.
Okay.
Single barrels from large distilleries are not always better than their small batch products.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is because if not everyone knows this, is that and this is why it's a hot take because not everyone realizes this, but when you get allowed to pick out a single barrel at these distilleries, they have single barrels that they have picked out specifically to be single barrels most of the time,
Right.
For clubs, for different places, whatever. And when you get towards the end of the year, you're down to the stuff that no one fucking wants, that
Right.
no one's picked, no one has chosen, no one's liked these single barrels. And so you might be getting a kind of a shitty single barrel from these large distilleries because when I feel like it's different for a small distillery because we always want our best stuff out there, especially when it's going to smaller, to liquor stores, to clubs, groups, whatever. We're going to make sure they pick out good barrels. When it's big distilleries, you might be getting a shitty single barrel that's not better than what their batched product might be because of the fact that they're getting down to their shitty stuff.
Right.
So single
I
barrels,
100%
although
agree with you.
I
Yeah.
almost always say, I'm like, oh, single barrel all the way. Not always.
You got to believe in the people and the palate of the people doing
Yeah.
it. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key. Is the palate good? And let me tell you something. When you see it is distiller selected, and that could mean something very different for a place like Neely, where it's a small company and you connect with them. They'll probably give you a good shake. But I'm telling you, when you get the big guys, they're like, we can't make it to. If you tell one of the big guys we can't make it to Kentucky, just have the distiller select one. They were going to give you the leftovers from the picks that they can't
sell.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking good.
Same thing. You see all these Missouri selects. Like no one for the state of Missouri selecting anything. Stop this.
No.
Right. Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
gave you some
Missouri
shit
Select.
that is going to
Yeah.
say single barrel on it.
Yeah.
And so then people are going to buy it because they see single barrel. And so they assume, which you should, technically you should assume that a single barrel product is going to be superior.
Right.
Unfortunately, that is not always fucking true.
Right.
And so that's my hot take. Single barrels do not necessarily mean that it is going to be the best product that you've had from that place. It might be something kind of shitty.
Right.
And that's unfortunate because you should be able to trust that a single barrel is going to be like the coolest, funkiest, smoothest, whatever.
Can be off profile in the greatest way possible.
Exactly. That's what you should always expect. But unfortunately, that's not fucking true.
Yeah.
There's my hot take.
There you go. Darren, you asked the question. You got a hot take?
Yes, I do. Red wine finishes are overdone.
Okay.
I'm not going to
Because
say
everywhere you
hot
go in,
take
there's
that
red
I
wine
wouldn't
finishes
put
on every single product.
Okay.
And
see
so,
it.
unless I really trust the people that are making it, I'm not buying another one.
Okay. Yeah.
without tasting it first.
Yeah, without tasting it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Demetrius?
Probably my hot take would be I think all barrel finishes are mostly bullshit.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't had a barrel finish that it's like, I try a barrel finish and I'm like, some of them are interesting and good, but it's like, I would prefer to have somebody's whiskey the way they originally intended it when it went into barrel. Give me a barrel strength of your best product. Don't hide it behind it. What is that? Like an Avenura barrel or whatever it is.
Amberana is the big one right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that one's overpowering. God.
It's super overpowered.
I think I'm done with the Amberana finish.
Nope,
myself.
they're awful.
I had a Zebra Wood, cognac, whatever. And I was like, like, give me the whiskey the way you distill it. Give me your best whiskey.
Right.
That's what I prefer. Put it in an oak cask. Let it sit there until you think it's done, and then let me try it, because that's what I prefer. Just
that being said, as hot as this Amburana is a hot finish, if you will. People like it because it's been associated with cigar blends and stuff like that. If I had one of these rapidly aged whiskeys, fuck yeah, I'd be on the Amburana.
yeah.
Would be my thing. I would
Could fix all your problems.
I'd be the Amburana company basically, because it's going to overpower any of the shitty undertones you got in the actual whiskey, and and people, if they love that Amburana taste, it'll be there even in a rapidly aged product. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going to go first. I've got the Remus Volstead Reserve, and this is an MG Proof product. I don't know who they get this from. I'm not sure. There you go. See how I did that? Ooh, bassy. Bassy, not bad. You know what? That bassy note could be enough. We'll see what happens. We'll have Demetrius go next. That way I can hold my lead longer.
I have a Bardstown Bourbon Company Fusion Series.
Okay.
This is probably not going to pop well because, it's me.
No, nothing there. Nothing there. All right. Darren, you look like you're ready. What do you got?
I've got some Yellowstone 2022 limited edition finished in Marsala Superior cask.
Oh, sure. I just made that up. Someone talked over yours, so I'm sorry, we're gonna have to disqualify.
I think Darren has the lead.
All right, Darren's got the lead. I assisted by Beka there. All right, what do you got? I think because she didn't want to face off against me because I was leading clearly. So.
I'll face off against any of you guys.
All right, what do you got?
I've got some Whiskey War here from High Bank Distillery, a highly awarded blending distillery up in Ohio.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. It really didn't matter who was before that because Beka had one that was pretty well perfection, so that was good. So Beka wins, obviously. So cheers to Beka.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Texas establishments there now being able to sell Dusties. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnat to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
My name is Ryan Thompson. I'm a billionaire who buys stupid scotch, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about how Texas can sell Dusties now.
Yes, we are. Darren, what do we know about this?
I don't have my show notes pulled up, so I'm going to stall for 10 seconds. So
go on.
Keep going. Yeah.
In summary, it's similar to how Kentucky got it done to sell Dusties. It has to be off of the shelf for over 5 years beforehand.
Okay. Yep.
And then there's all these, how many you can sell. So this was the part I didn't get when I
brand new bottles too. Can't be opened. So yeah, that's good.
So an individual can sell 24 bottles. Who?
To any single store.
To a single store, but who has 24 old Dusties sitting around that's ready?
Oh, there's people that do.
Yes.
Yeah.
At only 5 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot of motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
Think about these guys who have like fucking 600 bottles that they just like have for whatever reason that they've been collecting, and then they're all of a sudden like, you know what? I think I'm done with the bourbon game. I'm gonna start fucking selling them.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I'd say a lot.
Yeah. So, and then bars and restaurants may purchase from a retailer 6 per 12 months. So, so bars and restaurants are limited to only 6 per 12 months. Wow.
Yeah.
From one person or in general? I didn't see that.
From retailers. I think.
Oh, okay.
Retailer. So, yeah. So, because it's not in distribution, they can't run to from their distributor. So they can go to a liquor store or whatever that's selling them, and they can get 6 per 12 months that way. So, I don't know. It's good to see other states doing that. They've had some problems in Kentucky, obviously, but I'm glad everybody just didn't take it off the books and be like, no, this is a bad idea. I'm glad we're continuing to do it and see, and we'll watch what Texas is doing now. How's it going? And hopefully it goes well. And hopefully we'll get to see it in other places. I would love to see it in Missouri. I'd love for us to be able to sell Dusties at some point. Where there's no way to get there at this point, but if more people get on board and politicians can see it and it's not causing problems, hopefully there are no problems, maybe we'll get it too. So,
you want to know why this is happening?
Why is it happening?
Because some politician has, like I said, 600 bottles, and his wife's like, "You're gonna fucking get rid of these." And he's like, "What am I supposed to do? I can't sell them. I'm gonna get in trouble." He's like, "No." She's like, "Well, figure it out, okay? I'm sick of these fucking bottles sitting all over the goddamn house." And so he's like, I guess I'll just pass a law.
Wait, you mean politicians passing laws that just affect themselves and no one else?
Absolutely.
Imagine
Never
that.
heard of that before.
Yeah, I guarantee that's why it even got brought. Because why would that even be brought in unless there's a politician that this is something that's going on with him?
Right.
That's
sure.
the only reason. It's not like someone came to them and were like, hey, can we do this? Because they're not going to think about that ever. That's not something that goes through their fucking minds unless they're trying to offload some fucking bottles.
They're trying to offload some stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So contact your local politician if you live in Texas. They're probably selling some stuff right now.
They probably have some good fucking bottles on their shelves.
Yeah. They probably are. So, yeah, I never thought about it like that, but I guess
Greg
that's
Abbott's got some just sitting on his shelf down there.
Yeah.
Ready to offload them. Old Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz he's offering up his stuff for
He's
a deal.
offering up his stock.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's a question though. Dealing with like these old dusty laws, can people from out of state drive to in-state?
I would think so. I don't know the specifics of Texas, but in Kentucky it can. So I'm going to assume that you can do that in Texas, but you would have to check dive further. We're not legal experts here by any means. Katie's not on, so we have to we have to say check the laws first. But I would guess, if I had to guess, I would surmise that you can just as an individual go there and sell stuff. So yeah. What else? What do you guys think about this?
Overall, it's a good thing.
Yeah, Dusty's
I mean,
good.
I'd say any sort of like lightening of laws on selling stuff is good.
Yeah.
So, and then also more people can get their hands on these different bottles that maybe they never thought they could, I guess, legally get their hands on.
Yeah. It gives people an outlet too. I mean, think about how many people deal with estates of relatives. Very sad situation, and technically you can't sell that stuff. Now, you're supposed to throw it away or give it away to someone in the family, but when you're dealing with situations, sometimes that's a tough thing to give away stuff to the family, and it can be different reasons. Maybe nobody in the family wants it. Maybe everyone wants it. Maybe it's a large family and everyone wants it. So how do you fairly distribute a bottle of whiskey? But if you can be like, you know what, we'll go to the local liquor store that's allowed to buy this, we'll sell it to them, and whatever proceeds go in, they go into the estate, and it'll be distributed to everybody. So that stuff too also is helpful for individuals to be able to do that legally and not anything where they have to break the law. I think that's kind of nice too, for sure.
So my question is, if you were a liquor store owner in Texas and you're looking to get into the Dusty game, how apprehensive would you be at that first purchase or the second purchase before you really get going? Like, would you be calling up experts? Would you try and find someone that knows a little bit more?
It's hard to say. I feel very comfortable doing it myself. And I own a liquor store. So if they did it in Missouri, I would be comfortable buying Dusty's. And, of course, I've got some stock that I can bring into the store legally then, the stuff that I've got, which would be kind of cool. But, it's a question for people who aren't really into that to suddenly get into it. And that could be a problem too. Because I would assume most stores would want to get in and play the game. And how much do they know about Dusty's? Yeah. I don't know. Just because you own a liquor store doesn't mean you know anything about Dusty's. So, yeah.
And I feel like you can't just have any liquor store off the street. Like why that works so well is because they have the owners, experience and the knowledge, and that's what they focus on.
Yeah.
In their little store next door. And so I think, I can't see the Total Wines that are in Texas doing it. I feel like that's... Right.
No, any sort of corporate can't do anything like that. They don't want anybody having a mind. Total Wine wants mindless people. They want people who do what they tell them to do, and they don't want people making decisions. You make decisions based on what they tell you the decision's going to be. So here's what you do, and do it. They're not going to be buying anything. So big companies won't be participating, and I like that. I mean, it gives mom and pops, the small organization, gives them opportunities to compete in a different way. I mean, that gives an incentive to go visit a store like the ABV Barrel Shop, a small shop. When you're like, Total Wine, I love it because of the pricing or whatever reason you'd go there, or the variety. I mean, there's things we can't compete with Total Wine. It'd be nice to have some things we can't, that we can do that they can't. So something like that is cool. Yeah, helps level the playing field a little bit. So I like everything about it. I hope it works. We'll see, and we'll see if some more start to do it too. So there you go.
Is it just Kentucky now in Texas?
In DC. So
DC.
Yeah. Now there's some other places like in Seattle. They have that restaurant. Cannon has a bunch of old stuff. I don't know how they got that. I'm not sure. So maybe I'm not sure how a place that has all that great list of Dusty. I don't know. I don't know if certain places are allowed to do it or they had that. I don't know the history of that place. I have no idea how some of that.
I mean, there's plenty of places that have old stuff down in north or so. I don't remember where I was at. One of the Carolinas I went to a place, Crunkleton.
Yeah.
And they had a ton of fucking Dusties there.
Right. So
I don't know. How do they acquire those? I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a legal loophole, like if you buy out a store and it has that stuff in it in their inventory, you then can legally do that. I have no idea. So we need Katie. We
need Katie here.
Katie knows everything. So there you go. In lieu of her, you got us just guessing. So
this could probably never happen I'm just putting things together, in a state-controlled state.
No.
Ohio. No. This is not a thing that could happen, right?
When they have ABC running things, there's no way. They wouldn't allow that. That's not going to happen in your Virginia's, Pennsylvania's, those places. Never. Not a thing. So, and I like that too for states that do it, like Missouri. Yeah, if anything we can do to make it more appealing to shop alcohol in our state as a alcohol retailer, I like it. So it's good. It's good. So, all right. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Demetrius may fall asleep on his chair here, like he did on that tractor today. So we'll wrap this one up as we always do. Darren, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures.
Demetrius.
You can find me at demetriuskane.bo on Instagram and Facebook, or you can find me at Nobleton's on Instagram and Facebook.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. If you're in suburban St. Louis and you get an opportunity, please pop in the shop. We are open 7 days a week. Check out those store hours or anything else you want to know about the store. Maybe sign up for email, text distribution at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Farnance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small, experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you are in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.